Does any part of you feel like too much right now? Too many thoughts, too many uncertainties, too many moving parts. Sometimes our inner world feels chaotic in a way we can't quite name. And when we stand in front of the starry night, we see a sky that feels just like that, restless, almost unstable. And yet, we don't look away. Why? Tonight, I don't want to explain the painting. I want to explore what might be happening inside you when you look at it. There was a time when I said that sentence almost every week. This is too much. I got overwhelmed easily. My thoughts spiraled. And I kept asking myself, why am I like this? The strange thing was, the problems almost always got solved eventually. But the whole time, I suffered more than I needed to. And every time it happened again, I blamed myself again. Eventually, I stopped asking, what's wrong with me? And started asking, what is happening in my brain? Learning even a little about how the brain processes stress didn't fix everything, but it made me less cruel to myself. I'm still at the beginning of that process, and this channel is simply my way of documenting it through the paintings I love. So tonight, let's begin here. Your brain is a prediction engine. Every second it asks, where is the pattern? What is stable? What can I rely on? Even when something looks chaotic, your brain searches for structure. Neuroscience describes two major visual pathways. One helps identify color and detail. The other tracks motion and spatial position. When a painting contains strong movement signals and subtle brightness contrasts, it can feel alive, almost vibrating. Not because it is unstable, but because your brain is actively working. In 1941, mathematician Andrei Kolmogorov described how turbulence in nature follows statistical laws. Storms look wild, but they are not random. Decades later, researchers analyzed the brightness patterns in some of Van Gogh's paintings and found statistical similarities to natural turbulence. This does not mean he painted equations. It means something more interesting. Even chaos can contain structure. Here's why this matters. When you feel overwhelmed, your internal world can look like this sky. Fast thoughts, emotional intensity, uncertainty. But your brain does not interpret all intensity as danger. If it can detect structure, even partial structure, the experience becomes manageable. That shift, from random to patterned, is the difference between panic and processing. Now look at the lower half of the painting. The village is still, grounded, structured. The sky moves, the earth rests. Both coexist. This is not just composition, it mirrors the mind. Your thoughts may swirl, but part of you remains stable. Overwhelm does not always mean collapse. Sometimes it means reorganization. When the brain updates its internal model of the world, it temporarily increases activity. More signals, more analysis, more searching. It can feel like chaos, but it may actually be restructuring, like turbulence redistributing energy. St. Paul de Moselle is where Van Gogh painted this work. We don't need to diagnose him. What matters is this: he transformed intensity into structure. And centuries later, our brains can still recognize that structure. If your life feels like a swirl right now, consider this possibility. You are not broken. Your brain is searching. Chaos is not the absence of order. Sometimes it is order that has not yet revealed its shape. And somewhere inside the motion, your mind is already finding stars. If this moment with Vincent brought you a bit of peace, I'd love for us to meet again. Subscribing to this channel is like pulling up a chair in this room whenever you need a break. And if you enjoyed our talk, a like helps me know that this message reached your heart. I'll leave you now with the art itself, pure and undisturbed. From the original canvas to a breathing, moving world. If you wish to immerse yourself deeper, please pause the screen and let the beauty wash over you. Take your time. True rest begins now. I'll see you in the next frame.